Hi and welcome. My name's Gordon Dunbar. You've arrived at this video as a result of an invitation that I sent you either by email or by normal mail, inviting you to have a look at some information that I did based on a benchmarking study that on beauticians in Nedlads. So this is very much an argument for active participation by local business in mobile and local online marketing. The key points that I want to connect you with are really divided up into two. One is the facts that I've gleaned from the net about what's trending and what's happening. And secondly, what assumptions I'm making about you and what I think you know, or perhaps even need to know. So the facts are 94% of people do not go beyond page 1 search results. That's an important statistic because it essentially is telling you that if you're not on page 1 in many respects, people are unlikely to find you. And so, your online marketing strategy should be very much focused on trying to get onto page 1. Yes, there are exceptions to that. Your existing customers don't need to go there. They can find you directly by going to your website. But by and large, if you're looking for new customers, you need to be on page 1. 80% of people searching online do so before committing to the product or services that they're seeking. That's an important statistic as well, because it's telling you that an online presence is paramount to being in the mind's eye, or in fact in the view of the people who are searching for your product or service. So I think that's leading to the conclusion that if you don't have an online presence, you're missing out. Thirdly, 75% of customers actually change their decisions based on what they find other customers are saying about the product or service that they're reviewing. So if the customer review isn't there, they're likely to move on and find other products and services that do have reviews, or if the review is negative, then that's also likely to influence their decision. And whilst many of you and your websites don't have facilities for customer reviews, that's not to say that they don't leave them. Again, the statistics indicate that 50% of customers are leaving reviews somewhere, and often that will be at other locations such as Yelp or any other local directory, True Local, City Search, and so on. The big players like Google and Bing, Foursquare, Facebook and Yelp, all of them are getting on the local mobile online marketing by providing local businesses, an opportunity to register their business on their respective applications, and to provide those businesses with their own website where they can actually provide information specific to their business, and that it comes up on those applications. Typically those applications have maps, and I'll show you an example of that shortly, where the map shows the location and then a tag on it with the actual business's physical location, and then as the customer hovers over the tag, it provides all the information necessary for the customer to make an informed decision about going there or using their service. And finally, less than 20% of businesses in the US have yet to take up what these big players are offering. But you shouldn't be dissuaded by that statistic, because in fact only 2 years ago it was less than 5%. So that's a significant compound growth over that short period of time, and it just indicates the momentum that US local businesses are following in terms of getting their act together with their online marketing presence. So what are the assumptions that I'm making about you, or what I think you know? Well, I'm making an assumption that you could do with having more customers. That may not be the case in all situations, but that really does underpin why I've prepared this video and why I'm talking to you. Secondly, as I've said previously, if your website isn't listed on page 1, it's unlikely to be attracting new customers. So, your whole marketing strategy should be focused on moving onto page 1. And I'll talk about some of the things that suggest that that opportunity is wide open at the moment in a minute. You can actually get onto the results of page 1 Google local maps without having a website. As I alluded to before, Google, amongst others, is actually providing you with a dedicated website where you can provide all this information, and Google will preferentially source that information and present it when individuals are searching for a term such as beautician in Nedlads. And based on you entering that data, they will provide that to those customers. So that doesn't mean to say that having your own website isn't important. It still is, because Google also present a set of organic searches which is based on the websites that you have. And your ability to get on page 1 is about ranking higher than your competitors. And you'll see some graphs in a minute that suggest that you've got at least a 70% chance or higher of getting onto page 1 at this point in time, because the competition for beauticians in Nedlads, for example, is very low. There are 43 beauticians in the locale, but not many of them have actually optimised their online marketing presence to the extent that they can't be beaten in the pursuit of page 1 listing. Having an effective online presence is probably the most powerful and indeed measurable way of building your business. So you can do this either by educating yourself and then applying that knowledge to your website and your online presence. Alternatively, you can hire someone like me, or it could be a combination of both, and I'd be happy to help under those circumstances as well. So whatever you choose, I would suggest that now is the right time to be thinking about it. The momentum is building, and in order to encourage you on that journey, I'd like to offer you a free analysis of your online presence for the first 20 people that contact me before the 30th of June. My contact details are on the last slide of this presentation. But if you want to terminate the video now, then that would be fine. The rest of it is, in fact, the detail behind what I've just provided on this slide pack, or this slide in particular. And so if you do want to terminate now, my contact details are 0403 241 540, or by email, which is gordon.dunbar, DUNBAR, @gmail.com. Thank you. And for the rest of you who want to follow on and get a bit more detail, please follow me to the next slide. So this slide actually gives you some information on what search results come back when you type in Beautician Nedlads. You can see that it's a very clean page, but that page is filled with a map with tags on it, and those tags correspond to the companies on the left-hand side. Interesting to note that this sits above the organic listing. So websites are not referenced here. All of this information is based on information that Google have on those dedicated local websites that they have created for individual companies. So when we do a case study on beauticians in Nedlads, what we see is on the second part of the first page, we see a map on the right-hand side, which again is just following us down. As we scroll down, it's the same map that we saw above, but on the left we have these organic results, and the majority of these are actually directories. They're not actually the websites of the beauticians in Nedlads that we would have expected to see. There is one advert, which is the bottom one here. This here is a directory, a local, true local. The yellow pages, there's 2 listings there for entities, but again these are directory listings. Katura is actually a private website which is being listed here in position 4. And then we go back to a local directory, My Local Salon. and then this one here appears to be a website as well. And then finally, as I said, the advert. So what I did is I actually went and analysed all of these different websites and provided a database like this and provided this summary. And you can see here that we have the individual companies recorded down here. They're in alphabetical order. I've only shown 9 of them, and just a data dump of how they rank, relatively speaking, in terms of the performance for each of the criteria that are shown here. So for those that are interested in this listing, please contact me and I can provide that by email. This is another representation of that same information. So with that detail, you might be company 35, for example. You would then come here and see that by and large you're in good company with 70% of the beauticians in Nedlands having a similar online profile to you. And as I said earlier, this infograph gives you a good idea that there's no one in the middle here that's really killing it in terms of Beautician Nedland online services. The majority of you are actually sitting in this space here where you've got plenty of opportunity to improve your position. But having said that, there are 43 companies or businesses, and Google would essentially allow 10, maybe at a maximum of 12 to 15 of those being represented on page 1 of Google. So there's an opportunity for any one of you, in my opinion, to move there. It's just a matter of whether you're willing to dedicate the resources and time to do that. So if we look at these stats, this also helps you get some impression of the opportunity. So of the 43 entities that I talked about, only 20 actually can be found on the net, and 3 come up on the first page when searching for the term beautician in Nedlands, as you saw on the previous couple of slides. 7 are tagged on the map. 9 have a Facebook presence, 2 have a Twitter presence, none on Foursquare. Of those that have a website, which is 12, which is a relatively small percentage of the 43, slightly better if you look at the 20. Of those 12, only 7 have an email provided, 6 have relevant pictures and videos, 2 have customer reviews, and 1 had rich content, updated information that customers typically would be interested in knowing about. So again, good example of opportunity in the waiting for organisations to lift their profile and their presence online. So if you're interested in me helping you in this, again, here are my details. And just to remind you that, what I'm offering you for the first 20 people that respond to me by the 30th of June is some research and some analysis that would, in of itself, be worth more than $500. So I do hope you take some advantage of that as I start to build my business. Thank you.